Hello and welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. Here we have today a 2018 on a 68 plate Mazda CX-3. Sport Nav Plus automatic transmission with a 2-litre petrol engine. Before I get into the detail of the specification of the car, this is probably one of the most low mileage, or in fact the lowest mileage used car I have encountered at 3 years of age. This is a car we sold brand new. I sold it personally to the one owner that it's had, which I believe was back in October 2018. Local customer, doesn't live far from the dealership, probably less than sort of 10-15 minutes, and we've seen the car for routine servicing. It's been into us every year, despite the mileage the car has covered. As it sits today, this car's hit 3 years of age and it has covered 1,800 and some miles. I think it's something like 1,815 maybe, but an incredibly low mileage car. Just unheard of. I don't think I've encountered a car with such low mileage. The car looks very, very sharp, so it's a Sport Nav Plus, so that's the updated model of CX-3. Really sorry if the noise is bad, there's a lot of wind noise today. This is the updated model of CX-3, so at the very end of 2018, Mazda sort of improved what was already a very, very accomplished car by adding an electronic handbrake, changing the rear light clusters, and making vast improvements to what they refer to as NVH, noise, vibration and harshness. So some real subtle changes that added up to a real big difference and a very, very different car. It's beautifully finished inside. The interior quality of Mazda is second to none at the moment. It really is a really lovely place to be. And the condition of the car is just staggering, as you'd expect for an 1,800-mile car. We have dealer demonstrators on site this very day that are maybe a couple of months old, and they have covered more than 1,800 miles. So to do that in 3 years is it's just unbelievable, really. But it's still been into us for routine servicing and maintained at no expense spared. Car covered something like 1,300 miles in the first year. And then pandemic hit and it really just hasn't been used. Literally used for local running around, but has been kept absolutely beautifully. I'll go through a bit of the specification. So Sport Nav Plus gives you black leatherette interior, very, very good stereo, which I'll come on to shortly. These very, very nice alloy wheels, which are in like a bright sort of chromed finish. A reversing camera, parking sensors, privacy glass, keyless entry and push button start, navigation, integrated Bluetooth, the list goes on. The specification is comprehensive to say the least. I'll show you in the boot. So you'll notice as I lift the boot there, you've got the rear camera and a really, really good sized boot, plenty of space, and under the boot floor here you have another sort of section of carpet. So you've got this elevated section which you can keep your items covered with, and underneath that, I'll just move this carpet out of the way, you've got speaker for the stereo. You'll recognise the name. I'll come on to the stereo when we get inside the car. Of course we've got things like the locking wheel nut, both keys, all the books and owner's manuals for the car as well. But it's had an incredibly easy life and is a very, very desirable car, being an automatic. I mentioned the alloys, so they're on Toyo Proxy tyres, which is what these cars were issued from new. They just look like they haven't been used, as you'd expect for the miles the car's covered. In the back of the car, I mentioned you have black leatherette interior, looks very, very nice. Light headliner, which is all in beautiful condition, as you'd expect. And even things like the sill entry points are all in lovely order. Doors aren't scuffed. They just don't look as though the back of the car's been used, to be honest. The seats just have that feel of them that they just don't look like they've been used. You've got a keyless entry button on the door here, and it's the same in the front. Seat is barely used. There's not even like a stress mark on the bolster. These start to go really quickly on any leather car, but because the car's done so few miles, it is just in unmarked condition. It's beautiful. On entry to the car, you're greeted with electric windows, electric fold mirrors, electric adjust mirrors. Another little nod to the stereo down there. If I jump in the car, being an automatic, you just have to have your foot down on the brake and you press this starter button one time. That will start the car up, and you'll see that little screen just pop out there, which is the head-up display as well. And you see it comes up with a little note there saying CX3. It's a very, very nice touch. Shut the door. So as you can see on the dash, 1,812 miles as it sits today. It's even got nearly an entire tank of petrol. That never happens with used cars. I'll come on to the multimedia system. I'm really sorry if there's a lot of glare from the sun. I'm probably at quite a bad angle for this. You've got this inbuilt navigation system, fully integrated. You don't have to have your smartphone plugged in for it. It's a traditional navigation system. There's hands-free telephone. That's for Bluetooth audio streaming and for phone calls. And in music, you've got FM, AM, and you know down here you've got DAB digital radio as well. You can change the information for the head-up display here, so I don't know if you can see just there, it's displaying 0 miles per hour on the screen. It just means you can keep your eyes a little bit higher while you're driving. It displays a lot of information in there as well. It has things like your satellite navigation instructions and things like that. It's a really, really useful little screen and a good safety feature. Of course, you've got automatic lights. These are LED headlights on this car. Very, very nice sort of crystal white light. It means a little less strain on your eyes at night time. Also wipers and steering wheel controls for your stereo and your cruise control. You also notice you have got paddles behind the steering wheel. Being an automatic, you've got that sort of manual paddle shift option if you choose to use it as well. Controls down here for the iStop technology. That's the engine cutout technology the car has. Tyre pressure monitoring system here. Parking sensors and a lane departure warning system as well. If we come down from the navigation system in the centre here, you've got all important heated front seats, and being a Sport Nav Plus means you get heated steering wheel. Really, really nice feature for the winter time. It heats just this sort of section here, so between this level of stitching and up to the top here, so where you'd keep your hands, it heats that for you. It comes in really, really quickly, and during winter it's a beautiful addition to the car. Climate control, air conditioning, CD player, twin USB socket down here, and this little flap here is for the SD card for the navigation. Down to gear lever, so even things like the textured plastic on here, these get really easily scratched if they're not looked after. It is unmarked. You have a little button on the front of the gear lever here. You just have to have that depressed and you can cycle down through your options, and then you've got the manual setting just to the right here. We can move it over to shift using the paddles or the gear stick itself. And then there's a sport setting here for the gearbox. This increases availability of torque and keeps the revs a little bit higher. Won't change up into the next gear as frequently. Keeps the power available for you, which is a nice touch. Controls for the multimedia system here. I'm using this button to twist is how you can move things on the display. Although I must mention this is a touchscreen when you're stationary, so you can use this button but you don't have to. An electronic handbrake. This is the biggest giveaway to say this is a Sport Nav Plus car. All you do is put your foot on the brake, press it down to take it off, and lift it up to put it back on. It's that simple. Covered most of the inside of the car. Worth mentioning, we've got all the owner's manuals and books in the glove box here. Everything that the car was supplied with from new, including a original CX-3 brochure. It's a really good sign if the owner keeps the original brochure, and we're going to leave that in the car for the next owner as well. Last thing I haven't covered is the stereo. So this car has a 7-speaker BOSE stereo, and I think a lot of people would get a bit confused by interior stereos and suggest that it's just a BOSE speaker. It's not. It's a sound system built specifically for this car. BOSE actually make each and every stereo specific for a model, you know. This car's a 7-speaker stereo with a subwoofer in the boot. It sounds tremendous, and you don't have to have it loud to be able to appreciate the quality. It really is that good. Got a really nice sort of leather stitched insert on the dash there as well. Just going to turn the car off. And that is pretty much everything. That's our CX-3. The car was serviced and MOT'd yesterday. This is when we were presented with the opportunity to purchase it. The customer said they were not making use of the car and wanted it to go to a good home. Being the way things are with the used car market at the moment, we were very, very keen to buy it and to be able to offer it for sale. A truly irreplaceable car. You just need to come and see it to be able to appreciate its condition and how nice it is inside. Although we are a Mazda main dealer, we accept part exchanges from all manufacturers. We're very, very competitive buyers of used cars. The used car market is buoyant at the moment, to say the least, so we're always on the look for new stock. If you are contemplating changing your car and want an idea of what your part exchange may be worth, just give us a try. You know, we're very competitive buyers of used cars. The temptation may be to go to a company that's advertised on the telly or the radio. Do try us first, and we'll give you a more than competitive price for your car. The vehicle's now expired in terms of Mazda warranty. We will be putting a 12-month parts and labour Mazda warranty on this for the new owner. That includes roadside assistance for 12 months, and that's included in the advertised cost of the car. If there is anything else you'd like to know, please feel free to give us a call, and thanks very much for watching. We look forward to hearing from you. Cheers then, bye.